Hi, I'm Craig David Dowsett. I play Winnie the Pooh, and you're listening to On the Slab Horror Show.
Hello and welcome back to the On the Slab Horror Show, the show that we bring to you each and every Friday night. Master King, why do we do this on a Friday night?
Friday night is horror night. Woo! Oh,
I mean, when
that sounded shit, didn't it?
when you have a voice like the
Oh,
King
God.
there, it's bad.
It usually sounds kind of scary-ish, but now it just sounded like a little fairy or something. I don't know.
But it is Friday night, it is horror night. And our guest here, being from the UK, will probably understand the terminology when we explain it. Do you remember free-to-air channels on a Friday night at 10 o'clock after the Watershed showing classic horror movies?
Yeah, definitely.
Channel 4 and the likes.
Yeah, that's why we put this out at 10 o'clock on a Friday night.
Right.
Nice little tribute to that. But as it says, the King is here tonight. King, how are you? Voice.
Apart from the voice,
weirdness.
I'm grand. Yeah, I'm okay. Been looking forward to getting this gentleman on for a while now, I have to say. So it should be good.
This is a film that I moved on quite early to get a guest, and we've had one previous guest from this film. But tonight we have the main attraction of the movie. It is Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. It is Mr. Craig David who plays Winnie the Pooh. How are you, sir?
I'm very good, thanks. How are you both?
Oh, good.
Not bad, not
good.
bad.
Yeah.
Good to see you. Thanks for having me on the show.
This has been a long time in coming. Thanks for taking the time out to come on.
Yeah.
Obviously, it worked actually quite well that you wanted to delay it a little bit until it came out, so you can actually talk properly, which was better idea.
Yeah. It's a lot easier when you can talk freely about it once it's out and people have seen it. You know, otherwise you can't explain too much about it without giving stuff away. You know.
It was tough, as it says. We had a previous guest, obviously. We had Natasha Ticini on, and it was kind of hard to talk about a film that no one has seen any of, or she can't say, well, I do this in the film or I do that in the film.
Yeah.
But
she still did good numbers for us, though, which is great.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tash.
I will say, the movie, I said it to her and I've said it to countless other people that I've spoke to on the show and off the show. This movie was always going to be infamous. As soon as the name came out, it picked up hype. Whether it had been good, bad, indifferent, this movie was going to make money.
Yeah, just purely from the characters in it. It got people's attention from the start, and everyone was curious. They wanted to see this iconic character turn into an absolute nutter.
And boy did he. But before we get into the movie, how did you get started in acting?
Yeah, so I got started a few years back. Originally, I do a lot of martial arts, and I wanted to get into film and TV, doing fight scenes and action scenes. So I started off learning about that side of it and doing some bits and bobs, and then just developed and branched out to other styles of acting.
This one was certainly a different style from martial arts.
Yeah. Oh yes, one of a kind style. Yeah.
I mean, you did have a little few karate chops in there. I've seen that.
Yeah.
That was Winnie's secret power, wasn't it?
That was, yeah, it was.
Hands of steel.
Yeah,
Actually,
I wanted to do some wrestling moves, but I wasn't allowed. So yeah, maybe next time.
Bear hug, huh?
WrestleMania weekend and all that.
Yeah.
Craig, actually, were you given? I know that we at the start of the story, we're given a little kind of a follow-up to the original, we'll say. But were you given an idea of Winnie's mindset before you went in to actually portray it? Because there's no voice, you're not speaking, so to say.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, acting in a mask. You've got to express your emotions through body language because you can't see your facial expressions and features. But yeah, it was basically he wanted the mindset of Winnie and Piglet to be, we've been abandoned, left on our own to fend for ourselves, no food. So we've gone back to our feral roots, gone back to our animalistic roots, and to survive we had to obviously kill and eat Eeyore. So yeah,
Eeyore is the worst character in Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, that depressive donkey. Yeah, so we had donkey meat, And
Nice.
then yeah, well, and then Crystal Robin comes back on the scene looking for us after all these years, and we've just got such a hatred for him for abandoning us that's it. We want to make his life a living hell, and anyone who's around him.
It's I picked it off when I watched it. It's very wrong turn Hills have esque kind of way of proper torture and stalking people down. Obviously, two good franchises for that. Now, obviously, you're not exactly hillbilly mutants, but you're overgrown cartoon characters that are no cartoon anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, something to me, from what I could gather, was there was a similarity in not in the way Winnie delivers things, but just the kind of whole get up of to Leatherface a little bit. That kind of, you know, he's doing this stuff, but he's doing it out of necessity, kind of thing, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You see some clips in there where Crystal Robin's trying to talk me down, you know, trying to make me see sense and calm down, and Pooh starts to like ease up a bit, and then suddenly go back into a rave, and yeah, it's more out of necessity.
Yeah.
That scene that obviously with that what Carl's talking about there is the one I picked it up was, you know, when you have him chained up beside the whatever's the sink or something, and then you're obviously eating honey and stuff, and like you can see it looks as if he's going into his own mind, and then just comes out a different animal again.
That's it. Yeah. He starts reminiscing about the past and the old days with a younger Crystal Robin, all playing together, eating together, and then suddenly, bang, straight back to reality. He's like, just goes absolutely nuts, just smashes the place up and starts whipping the shit out of him.
We've spoke on the show before, myself and Carl, about the Leatherface thing. Like, I know he's the killer, but he's not really the one at fault. He knows no different.
Yeah.
Where
exactly.
Winnie the Pooh now knows no different. This is all he knows now.
That's it. Yeah, that's all he knows. Yeah, since they killed Eeyore, it warped their minds, just sent them into a totally different sort of mindset, and that's all they know. They just have to hunt, they have to feed to survive, and anyone's fair game.
So a message to everybody: do not eat depressed donkey meat. I couldn't put that out of my mouth there. Yeah, don't eat depressed donkey meat because it's
no depressed donkey meat. No.
Yeah, it's, you know what, I like, as much as the cartoon is what it is. Eeyore, even growing up, I hated Eeyore. I hated it. So the movie was in a good mindset when I seen it. That was the first thing.
Yeah, it's like, he's gone. He's out of there straight away.
Yeah. Well, I was delighted, Craig, that you put a pair of trousers on Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah. Well, we had to, really, because of the copyright law. You know, I couldn't go around naked from the waist down wearing a red top. So which was good in a way, because some of it was shot in some cold nights.
I can imagine. Actually, where was it filmed, if you don't mind me asking?
Ashford in Kent.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Nice. Obviously, it goes from zero to go very quickly.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, straight from the off. Yeah, it's from zero to just full speed.
Like the ads obviously showed us Christopher Robin coming back, going into the lair, and then realizing that this is a bad idea.
Yeah. As soon as they go into the lair, they start seeing, you know, there's weapons lying around, there's bits of blood dripping off things. So they just instantly get this feeling of like, oh my god, you know, what's going on here? And Crystal Robin's girlfriend Mary, she's petrified. She just wants to get out there and leave. But then once they're up in my bedroom, they hear me coming upstairs, and that's it. They're hiding, and like they just don't know what to expect.
Yeah, it was very good. And I love when they're going into the lair. There's just a little sign in red writing, ER RIP. I was like, nice.
Yeah.
Was that just part of the story, or was there a reason that you didn't incorporate some of the other ones? I know some of the other characters are still under domain, but
yeah, no, that's just part of the story. I think having an Eeyore there in it with his slow, droning, depressive voice, it would have been a bit.
Yeah,
Totally
makes sense.
different film.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
You'd be rooting for the people to survive this time.
Yeah, you would, yeah.
But obviously, as it says, it goes from 0 to 100 very, very quickly. The girlfriend gets picked apart, fine, but then you get the chase scene.
Yes, yeah,
That was all sorts of rough.
yeah, yeah. So I was just bolting towards her as fast as I could, just flat out.
How many takes did it take you? Did you fall over when you done that?
No, you know what? Luckily, I didn't. I think we've done that about 4 takes.
I'd have had a stroke.
Yeah. You know what? That was actually quite a hot day. Some of the scenes I was in full costume running, and then there was a couple where I could have the mask off because it was more filmed from the sort of like chest down, just seeing the legs going really fast. So yeah, it's a mixture. But yeah, it was a hot day that day doing that. I remember that.
Yeah, and then obviously that is one of the roughest scenes. And for me, I was sitting there rewatching when I watched that, and I was seeing obviously what happens. I was like, oh jeez, and it brought me back to I don't know if you ever remember the Jackie Chan movie Rumble in the Bronx.
Or vaguely, yeah. It's been a long time. Yeah.
Where they put the brother into one of those. I was like, geez, that's something you don't see all that often.
Exactly. Yeah.
As a weapon, and I was like, Jesus, that's rough. I was like, how are they going to eat that though?
Oh no.
Nature finds a way.
Yeah.
Good Jurassic Park one.
Yeah.
You know what kill? You know what kill I like, Craig? You know the one where you're going after a woman in the pool, and you just swing at her. That was one of my favorite. I think that's one of my favorite kills in recent memory.
That was Chris, was it?
That was Chris. Yeah, that's.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. But that was one of my favorite kills. Just the way it went and the way it was filmed and everything.
Yeah, it's the slow motion. He's cranking it up with a sledgehammer and then bang.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's awesome.
But I loved obviously we've said that it's kind of a lower budget movie. The acting was still pretty decent in it, where sometimes you see lower budget movies and the acting is just horrendous and whatnot. Obviously you had the girls and they genuinely looked terrified at times.
Yeah, you know what, they actually genuinely were, because a couple of them hadn't actually met me and Chris until we were there in full costume, and then suddenly it was like, right, action, and they were like literally like, oh my god.
Hell.
Imagine you're sitting there, what you do? You got to run across that pool there, and this guy's going to chase you. What's he look like? You'll see in a minute.
Yeah, you'll see in a minute. Yeah, that's pretty much how it was, because me and Chris would go off and get into costumes ourselves, and then obviously the girls were getting their costumes on and getting ready for the scenes, and then because it's dark outside when we were filming, it was like we just suddenly come rocking out, and they were like, oh my god, and then that's the action, and we're going for them. They were like genuinely scared shitless.
Yeah, I'd heard of that in a few other movies as well, where you don't see like obviously you'll see them later on, but when you first see the killer, sometimes it's brought in just then, and that reaction is real. Obviously, the most famous one I think would be, not even horror, would have been Alan Rickman in Die Hard, where it's an actual real reaction where they let him fall.
Oh yeah.
So like some of them could be real reactions in the film.
Yeah, which it does help.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your costume. I think it's fantastic. It looks fantastic, and you know, like again, we're champions of as much practical effects as possible. Like, you know.
Yeah.
But tell us how, like, was there animatronics on that mask, or?
Yeah, no. So they added CGI to certain parts of the face afterwards, because we didn't want to make it look like a static mask.
Yeah.
So, in the edit they added CGI, so the ears would twitch and the nose and the grin and the facial expressions. Yeah, just as otherwise, you know, if it's just there as a static mask, you don't really get that sense of.
You don't really think it's him like that.
I wouldn't have picked off that there was a lot of CGI in it for that.
No, I thought it was.
It looked relatively good.
Yeah, no, we tried to do as much as we could with practical effects.
The right way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so
And how long did it take you to get into costume, Craig? And
not long at all, actually. Pretty quick, because it's just the mask took the longest to get on, because there was like what you call a sweet spot. Once I've got it in a certain place, it's like, right, okay, great. But getting it to that bit, there's a lot of adjustment. Probably about half hour to get all suited and booted, and ready to rock and roll. Yeah, I had to.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I had to wear a like a thermal woolly hat on top of my head, because the mask would slip down over my eyes and I couldn't see nothing. So I had to build up a layer. So I had a thermal hat on, and then that mask on. I was just totally sweating.
Oh yeah, it's like you wear. And what was breathing like? Were you able to breathe in it okay, or?
Only through my mouth. Yeah, there was no nose holes. So when I'm running through the forest, that was quite difficult to breathe and at times. Yes, but no, I had regular mask breaks. You know, they always told me once the scenes were done, they were like, right, you've got half hour. So I'll be like, right,
take it off.
Off. We'll be ready in an hour.
Yeah.
Do you know what that mask? From looking at it, I don't know what kind of material it is, but it always, when I seen it on, I was like, I wonder, is that like putting on? Do you remember them old rubber swimming hats?
It's like I think it's like silicone-based, reinforced silicone-based mask. It's very thick, very solid. It's really heavy as well. I think it's like weighs about 5 kilos.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah. After having that on for a while, your neck muscles and your shoulder muscles, you can really feel it. It's quite heavy.
So he's telling us he has traps like Goldberg now.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'm all bulked up.
But I would say,
what did you do? I wore the mask.
I'd say that discomfort probably helped you get into character more as well. I'd say.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because that was one of the challenges. You know, how do you make Winnie the Pooh scary? Because he's a bit goofy, he's a bit funny. So you just got to try and move ominously, you know, sort of menacingly and sadistically, really, just to try and give that sort of fear factor off.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's a point then, going back to obviously the Texas Chainsaw, we'd seen Gunnar Hansen do it for Leatherface. So was there anything you watched to help you make your mind up on how you were going to be here, or?
Yeah. You know what I did? I watched Leatherface. I watched Halloween with Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, Friday the 13th. I'd done some research through all of the classics and just tried to get some sort of pointers and ideas about how I wanted to portray it, and sort of like do a little bit of a blend and a mix and put my own stamp on it at the same time.
So if you want the ultimate slasher, you mix them all in together and put them in Winnie the Pooh's body.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And give him a sledgehammer.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Obviously, the poster dropped relatively early. Obviously, again, back to it being Natasha on the poster, being tied up. You knew there was going to be a grisly end here. I just didn't quite envisage it being as grisly as it was.
Yeah, that's quite a grisly end to Natasha, isn't it? Yeah, that's
I really didn't expect that.
No, yeah, and it come out so well. It was, you know, seeing the eyeball and everything. It was great.
I like, obviously herself on Instagram as well. She's quite popular, and people always asking that question and that. But like, I fully just expected her to be run over and that be that. I did not. 100%. Like, there's not very many kills in horror these days that get me, and I'm like, well, I didn't expect that to happen like that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, because you see her lying there. She's tied up. Piglet's pinning her down with his foot, and yeah, you'd think to yourself, like, the car's just going to go flat out over her, bang, done. But no, because we're, you know, twisted, sadistic killers, and we want to torture them all. It was like, right, slow and as painful as possible.
Oh, it was bad.
Oh, yeah, you can imagine, can't you? You're hearing the car revving, and then suddenly the tyres touching your head.
Oh, stop!
Trying to go over a speed bump, really.
Yeah.
Because that'd probably be your head would probably be about the size of a speed bump, really.
Yeah.
Well, unless it's Carl's head.
Thanks. Craig, can I ask you a question? Has your performance kind of generated any interest in similar roles for yourself, or?
Yeah, I've had a couple of conversations with some people who are thinking of doing some bits and pieces down the line, and have asked me if I'd be interested. But yeah, it's early days, so we'll see. You get a lot of people, talking about things, but it doesn't materialise. So yeah, we'll see what happens in the future. But yeah, I like playing that type of character, that masked evil killer. I quite like doing that. So yeah,
You're good at it. You're good at it.
Oh, thank you.
Is it gonna get to a point where you could necessarily be, say, like, obviously not actually Kane Hodder, but the way he done it for years before he started moving into playing killers without the mask, where you see his face? So would you be happy to be behind the mask the whole time, or would you prefer to mix it up?
Yeah, no, I'd be happy to mix it up. Yeah. I'd always aspire to mixing it up, to doing both. Really, I'd like to do some roles where you actually see me as me, out of a mask. So yeah, I'm open to anything really.
I mean, we've seen it, like, unfortunately for certain actors, say like Kane Hodder, up until probably late 90s, no one would have known who he was. Do you know what I mean? And things like that. So I think you get unfairly treated as an actor if you're just a man behind the mask.
Yeah.
So obviously branching out. Obviously, we've seen David Howard Thornton. Obviously, no one would know what he really looks like.
Yeah.
Because of Art's makeup and because of the main one's makeup. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now you're going to get to see him in the Dead Place where he actually doesn't have makeup on.
Yeah.
So to move in for yourself would be a big thing as well, because I think, would it be for you, you'd be considered a different kind of actor if you do both, where if you stay behind the mask, you're going to be typecast, which is nothing wrong with being typecast.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Yeah, I think staying behind the mask, you would be typecast, whereas getting out of the mask, having your face, because it's a totally different style of acting, is in a costume and a mask, because obviously, like I say, you've got no facial expressions to worry about. With my character, it didn't really talk till the end, a couple of words, so you haven't got lines to learn and things like that.
How many times did you mess those lines up?
Yeah, no, nailed it first time.
Nailed it.
Nailed it, as the car's burning behind me.
I mean, like, what would have been cool there was, obviously they didn't want to go that way and they hired somebody else, but the group at the end that they run into, I thought it might have been really cool to have you and, say, Chris in there as one of the group.
Yeah. That's
just to give you your own little look in the film.
Yeah, that would be cool. But Chris actually played the stalker. So do you remember the scenes where Maria was explaining about the stalker, and you see him peeping through the window and trying to undress her? That's Chris Cordell. That's who plays
is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't look at the cast list. I only obviously watched the movie and then that makes sense then. But so you're the one that got shafted.
Yeah, I'm just tucked away behind the mask. Yeah,
he's just
the main thing or a bad
thing? He's the main attraction. Shut up, leave him alone. Actually, Craig, what did your family think when they saw you in costume for the first time?
Oh yeah, you know what? Because I kept it quiet for quite a while, and then once the first images come out, and the world went nuts for it, I sort of went to my family's house and I said, have you seen the pictures of this new film and all that? And they're like, yeah, it's mad, isn't it? And I said, yeah, that's me. And they were like, what? And they were like, oh my god. Same with my friends. Yeah, they were like, wow, that's nuts, that's crazy. So like
you hadn't told them that you were cast in the movie?
No, not to start with. No, I wanted to surprise them.
Brilliant.
Nice. Okay, then run through this. When you go home, how do you explain to your family that that's you?
I know, yeah, I should have just turned up with the mask on and said, all right.
I said nothing. Just have honey.
Where's dinner?
Yeah, where's dinner? Yeah.
Want some honey roasted ham?
That's it. Yeah. Oh yes, please.
So how did your friends take it?
Yeah, they were really, really excited and happy for me, because this being my first lead role, they were like, "Wow, what a first lead role to have!" Portraying this iconic character and just turning him into a slasher killer. They said that's nuts, that's crazy. They were really excited. Yeah,
And it really did look sadistic.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well,
It was something.
sorry, Craig. I was going to say, who was the more sadistic, Winnie or Piglet? Who do you think?
You know what? That's. I'd say Piglet was probably more
Animalistic.
animalistic. Let loose, let wild. Because Winnie was like, saying like, sort of telling him, let's do this, let's do that, and he was the main like. He just wanted to like just go nuts and just rampage and kill everyone. So yeah, I'd say he would be the more sadistic.
Yeah.
The mask, the Piglet mask was phenomenal looking as well. Obviously, this time Piglet now having the tusks, and stuff. It was brilliant. The two of them, like, all right, before we get into obviously this, before I give out about reviews and shit.
Yeah.
So had you worked or known Chris before this?
No, we were on the same production previously, but in different scenes. So I hadn't met him until Winnie the Pooh.
As I actually thought the chemistry. I know there's not much as you can see between faces, but the chemistry looked okay between the two of us. Anyway, sometimes you can see it just doesn't work properly, and it's disjointed. It looked relatively good.
Yeah. We had chats prior to these scenes that we were doing, and we were like sort of talking to each other. Right, let's move like that. Let's sort of you lead or I lead or
like scripting a good wrestling match.
yeah. Like the scene where Natasha's in the hot tub and the lights are flickering and we're getting closer and closer.
I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah.
It's very. So it actually reminded me quite much of Scream. At the minute, obviously, they were filmed around the same time, so obviously you wouldn't have known. But like the subway scene in Scream, it was done very much like that. That first thing where you see, obviously, she's taking a selfie, and you can see you just poking around the back.
Oh, that's brilliant.
And I was like, pervert.
yeah.
But he, I don't know how to say his name. Is it Reese?
Yeah.
Whoever, when he done the story, done it very well because he obviously led up with the stalker, and then all of a sudden you appear looking like this in the background. You're like, oh, okay, so you're just continuing on.
Yeah, exactly.
It was perfectly done. I know, obviously, we spoke off screen. It was, and even before this, like, it was got to be an infamous movie, no matter what happened. There was got to be people that were just going to slate this from the get go.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I wouldn't have took too much off them. But when you're getting people that like horror are coming along being like, oh, it's shit because of this or that. No, this is it. What did you expect of it? Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the people that have done that have obviously had different expectations about what they wanted to see. But yeah, like you say, how can you have expectations of this because it's never been done before? And then you've got your diehards, Winnie the Pooh fans, like the Disney version anyway, who weren't happy about it at all from the start. But you've got to respect everyone's opinion. But the real horror fans that just want to have a laugh, have a good easy watch, and see something different, they've really enjoyed it. We've had some really good responses.
Like for me, an hour and 21 minutes, I sat there, nearly switch your brain off, and just enjoy it for the kills.
Exactly, that's right. Yeah, you've had a hard day at work. You just want to enjoy a horror film and unwind and have a good time and a laugh with it. Then it's definitely the one.
Here's a question: Was there any pushback from Disney, even though they'd no rights to? But was there any pushback from them?
Not that I'm aware of at all. No. I mean, Reese and Scott might have heard different or had different, but I'm not aware of anything. I think they were just sitting tight, waiting to see what we produced, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just made sure we stayed as far away from their version of it as possible. So
Yeah.
I don't think they could have done anything, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
good,
they obviously lost the rights when they didn't renew the contract for the
Yeah.
domain of it.
Yeah.
Now I know certain characters from it are still under their domain, so I'm hoping. I think it runs out before the end of the year, so I'm wondering now, will we see another character introduced?
Yeah,
Oh,
there's it's a possibility there could be some more characters involved in the sequel. We're gonna have to wait and see who and if that happens.
I mean, I could play one of them just for the crack.
he's getting the acting bug now, I think.
Yeah,
But no, so like obviously we've already been told that there is going to be a number two, so we're gonna see the hype rebuild, reload, and whatnot, and hopefully you get to reprise your role again. But now what's happening in the world of Craig?
yeah. So for now, I've had a little break, had a little holiday because I've been all over the world with the film, the world premiere in Mexico, then LA. Then I was in Glasgow. Then I had a screening in my hometown. So yeah, I've been flat out since January. So I've had a little break.
How do you go from Mexico and LA to Glasgow?
You just do.
Yeah,
Started from the top to the bottom.
yeah, it was a lot colder. I can tell you that. It was like -3 when I got off the plane at Glasgow. I was like, wow. But yeah, no, that's where the UK premiere was held at the Glasgow Film Festival. Fright Fest, yeah.
Really?
So yeah, that's cool. We were really happy and enjoyed that, and the crowd liked it as well. We had a sold out screening there. I think ours was the only sold out screening out of all 21 films showing that.
Brilliant.
Okay, so yeah, we had a great response. They were cheering, laughing, clapping. Yeah, it was amazing. Really good to be there.
It was great. I heard a lot of great responses coming off that from people that I have obviously on Instagram and whatnot. Everyone seemed to have loved it and enjoyed where it went with it.
Yeah.
But there was that much hype around it. It was always going to be received well at the first part because it's going to be the fans that want to see it, went to see it.
Yeah.
Exactly that. Yeah.
But then again, you get people that comment on things and they go onto Rotten Tomatoes and write it down.
I know. We had a lot of people. I don't know if it was US or not. They were writing bad reviews of it before it was even out, before they'd even seen it, just to put the ratings down.
Yeah.
Maliciously, you know. So we had that to deal with, and yeah, you're gonna get people that don't approve of it, but to do
Fuck
stuff
them.
bit low the belt. Yeah.
You can't keep everyone happy, you know what I mean?
You can't, no. But the simple answer is, if you're not happy with it, don't watch it.
Exactly.
That's something I've said on this show many times. If you don't like that type of horror, you don't like that, just don't watch it. If you didn't like it, you don't need to go on and fucking rip it apart. You just turn it off and don't watch it again.
Yeah, even if you've watched it and you don't like it, you still haven't got to leave a nasty review, because I think a lot of people don't understand how much hard work goes into this, getting it out there to cinemas in the short time that we did as well. With the budget we had, you know, we all tried our hardest and put a lot of hard work into it.
Yeah, it seems to be like these are like, obviously they're people sitting back watching it. Like as you said, there's hard work put in from the script writers.
Yeah.
Right? The producers, the cinematography, the actors, the cast, the crew.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just one or two people. You're talking the guts of 20, 30, 40, 50 people.
Yeah, you're talking a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of hours editing in the background, getting it all put together. Yeah, they've put a lot of hard work into it.
Like I get really annoyed when I do be talking to sort of indie directors and stuff, and they'll be like, "Oh, this part is getting torn apart here, there, and there." Just people annoy me with that. Like, why bother? Why put someone down? Just if you didn't like it, just move the fuck on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, I've watched some terrible fucking films. I don't feel the need to go onto Rotten Tomatoes or go onto Letterboxd and be like, "This was fucking atrocious."
No.
Do you know what I mean?
No. Yeah.
I just move on. I wasted an hour and a half of my life. So what? Off we go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, no, I don't know why they feel the need to do that. Maybe a bit of attention or what, I don't know. But
I tell you what, if they were in front of you, right? Say yourself, and Reese, and Scott, and whatever. Did you like the movie? Oh yeah, I loved it. You know,
Yeah.
they're never going to tell you straight to your face.
No, exactly that. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Keyboard
life.
warriors.
That's life. People
Yeah.
are like that in general, aren't they, Craig?
Yeah.
Wait till you read the review that I left you on Rotten Tomatoes.
Craig, I've a
No,
very interesting question for you. So as you say, there is going to be a follow up to the first one. Are there any weapons that you'd like to think of Winnie using in the next ones?
Cool. I would actually like to use a chainsaw. Whether that's safe enough to do that, I don't know. But yeah, I'd like to use chainsaw. That would be really cool. Just the noise just creates fear straight away, doesn't it?
I can only imagine what Winnie could do with a pickaxe.
Oh yeah, pickaxe would be good. Yeah,
straight through the eyeball.
yeah, pickaxe.
Do you know-
chainsaw. Yeah,
Here's one for you, right? What you should do is, right, and if you use this, you can credit me for it. Any of the big slashers that have been out, you should use their weapons in it. Obviously,
Yeah.
slightly different so you don't get sued, but so like obviously using the chainsaw, use the machete, use a little Bowie knife. I think that'd be pretty cool to do.
yeah, that would be really cool. Yeah, yeah. Just have a table full of weapons, and I can just pick and choose.
No,
And you get all the other ones that don't like it being like, oh, you shouldn't have done that, this, that, and the other. Who cares?
just want to piss people off.
Me piss somebody off?
Never. Oh, do you know what would be cool actually? I don't know. I presume Winnie and Piglet don't have access to TV in the. I presume they don't. Like, you know. So imagine if they did have access to TV and they had seen all these horror films and they were using the weapons from those films. Like, it was
Yeah,
That'd be a
yeah,
cool little thing.
they could be emulating the movements, the weapons.
They're
yeah.
learning.
Yeah, they're learning. They're like, right, let's sit down on a Friday night, let's watch this, and then we'll kill someone the same way.
I like that pun. That's a good pun there.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, Craig, we're gonna wrap up in a minute. But like, you know, are you a horror fan first and foremost, or?
Yeah.
So, give us a few of your favorite films that you'd always go back to watch.
Oh, I always go back to the Halloween franchise. Always, yeah, it's great.
The Dynamo would love you here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's his one of the big five.
yeah. I'm a big Michael Myers fan. I also like the Scream films, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah, I love all that. If I want to relax at night and just chill out, I will put one of those on.
Yeah.
So,
Same.
okay, apart from the big five, then give us a couple of obscure ones that you'd watch.
Ooh.
Well, don't even have to be obscure, but so they're not one of the big franchise.
God,
Now we're putting you on the spot.
I'll tell you what. One of the weirdest films I've ever watched was a long time ago. Was The Human Centipede.
Oh God.
Terrible film. Terrible. I watched the first one. I was like, no, it's not for me.
I watched the first one, and then I think about half the second one, and I was like, yeah, okay.
I'm out.
One of the strangest ones I've ever watched. I also like the Saw films and bits and like that. I'm into that.
Did you ever see Ravenous, Craig? Did you ever see Ravenous?
No.
So it's
No.
the one with Robert Carlyle and Guy Pearce. That's a film you should check out. I think it's still on Disney Plus. You should have free lifetime membership to that, obviously.
Yeah. I'm sure the film will be out on there soon.
Imagine
1999's Ravenous. Yeah, it was brilliant.
But that's kind of like my kind of off the big ones, that
Yeah.
kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
Do you know what? You're saying you watched a strange one. I'll give you a strange one to watch. Go and watch The Infinity Pool.
Oh right, yeah. No, I've seen that advertised. I haven't watched it. Right.
Yeah. Mia Goth and Alex Skarsgård.
Yeah.
That's a proper out there mental one.
Is it? Right. I'll give that a try.
But yeah, Craig, we're just gonna wrap it up now. Got one other question just before we do. Have you seen Dog Soldiers?
Yes, I have. Yes.
Have you seen American Werewolf in London?
No.
Damn. Well, that's
Wow.
the first time we haven't had someone
Yeah.
that's seen both. That's
No,
not seen.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen both. I love Dog Soldiers though. Love that.
Yeah. Well, the question would have been which one was better, but we can't ask you because you haven't seen both.
I'm just gonna say Dog Soldiers anyway, because I'm a big fan.
Yeah, that's,
So, have you seen American Werewolf in London? Yeah.
No.
Well, your
Um,
homework, Craig. Your homework now is to watch Ravenous and American Werewolf in London.
Right. Okay. Right.
you won't be
I'll try-
disappointed.
Right. Okay.
You'll see one of the best character performances in a long time in horror in Ravenous. Robert
Okay.
Carlyle is fantastic.
Amazing.
Right.
Right, but I suppose for now, what cons have you got coming up that you want to promote before we go?
Yeah. So I've got Sci-Fi Scarborough. That's on the 21st, 22nd of April, I believe. Got that coming up. So yeah, me and the cast will be there. And then I'm at Spooky Empire in Orlando in May.
Nice.
Then I've got TerraCon in Marlborough, Massachusetts in September, and Frightmare at the Falls at Niagara Falls in October.
Nice. And maybe if the lads catch on, maybe for the love of horror in November. But
Yeah,
we'll say-
yeah,
I can't say anything.
yeah. That'd be really cool. Yeah,
It would,
I'd love that.
But as for now, then, Craig, it's been an absolute pleasure to have a chat with you this evening. And the amazing success of the movie, whether people loved it or hated it, they're still going to see it. So
Absolutely.
and we hope to see you in number 2 whenever we do hopefully get that out. I can't imagine the production company won't pick it up.
Yeah.
Here's
so-
hoping.
But what I'll do is I'll sign this off the same way we sign off every Friday night. Ladies and gentlemen, in the words of the great George A. Romero, stay scared.
Woo!
You know, you're the first person I ever shown this place to.
And why am I so special?
Because soon we'll be Christopher and Mary Robin.
You should be close now.
We're not going to find them.
We will. Pooh, Piglet, Eeyore, we were friends for many years, and they're out there.
Christopher, we need to leave. Now.
I really need to find out what's happened here, okay?
This place is kind of cold. Did you say it has a pool? We need to go. There's Laura's there. There's someone else outside. What was that?
We used to be friends. Why are you doing this, please? I would have never left, I swear. I swear.